Manoranjan ji, born in 1923 and breathed his last in 2013, was a distinguished Odia dramatist. His birth centenary falls this year. I thank Dr. ji, convener of the Akademi's Odia Advisory Board, and all the members of the board for recommending to have a seminar on Manoranjan Das to mark his birth centenary. With the beginning of the 1950s, particularly with the publication of Akademi, Dasji took to experimentation in theme and style, and his other plays that establish his fine experimentalism, deep socio-cultural and political awareness include Banhansi, Aranya Hasla, which won him the Sahitya Akademi Award, Katha Ghoda, Shabdalipi, Abrodha, Sagar Manthan, Janma Mati, and Nandika Kesari, etc. Manoranjan Das, who is considered to be a pioneer of the Odia absurd drama, focuses on man's ceaseless attempts at a meaningful existence. In each of his plays, he carries out new experiments in technique, such as splitting the dialogue, distorting the sentence structure, breaking the time sequence, and using various symbols and images. Today, at this seminar, we will have insightful discussion on Manoranjan Das's literary contribution and celebrate his legacy, both literary and cultural. Initially, I request Dr. K. Srinivasarao, Secretary, Sahitya Akademi, to formally welcome all the writer participants in the inaugural session. First, I request Raoji to please welcome Professor Dr. Kumud Sharma, Vice President, Sahitya Akademi, who chairs the inaugural session. Mahapatraji, eminent dramatist, who inaugurates this ceremony. Respected Sikata Das ji, daughter of Manoranjan Das and celebrated Odissi dancer. I request Dr. K. Srinivasarao to please welcome Vijay Kumar Satpathy ji, who is going to deliver keynote address. Shri Bhartruhari Mahtab ji, Member of Parliament and Vice Chairman of Rajabhasha Committee, Government of India.
And likely to become a dramatist also.
Shri Gaura Haridas ji, Convener, Odia Advisory Board of Sahitya. I request Dr. K. Srinivasarao to deliver welcome address.
Namaskar and good morning to all of you. Respected Sri Anand Mahapatraji, distinguished dramatist, scholar and renaissance man of Odia theatre. Professor Kumud Sharma ji, Vice President Sahitya Akademi. Sri Bhadrari Mehtab ji, Honorable Member of Parliament and Vice Chairman of Parliamentary Committee for Rajabhasha, that is official language. Miss Sikata Das ji, daughter of Sri Manoranjan Das, Dr. Gauriya Das ji, convener of Sahitya Akademi's Odia Advisory Board and also eminent Odia writer, Professor Vijay Kumar Satpathy ji, eminent Odia scholar and also the member of Sahitya Akademi's General Council. Dr. Vijayanand Singh ji, former Executive Board member of Sahitya Akademi and also eminent Odia scholar. All the participants in this program and friends. I am glad to welcome all of you for this seminar to commemorate the birth centenary of Sri Manoranjan Das ji. Friends, when it comes to performance, Indian traditions, theories pertaining to performance and philosophy of drama are the long-standing and rich in content. There is no other civilization. Of course, Greeks flourished for some time and Chinese too, developed their own versions that can come close to Indian drama when it comes to antiquity, richness of diversity and the number of languages in which plays have been taking place for 1,000 years or so. The subjects handled in these plays are countless, and more than that, how they were handled in each play is very important. Mundane may be the subject at hand, and yet the Indian playwrights in each language contributed to the enrichment of the drama by providing philosophical touch. By philosophical, I do not mean 100% of the times. They were metaphysical, but the playwrights in all the languages dived deep into the ontological issues and came up with philosophical twists. So each was different from each other and yet unique. In front of eminent scholars like Sri Anand I should not talk much, and also other eminent Odia scholars are participating. So what I am doing is just sharing some of my thoughts while welcoming all of you. Coming to the topic and personality of this seminar, Sri Manoranjan Das ji was one person who influenced successive generations of theatre lovers, playwrights and masses in general. He was one of the pioneers of modernism in Odia literature, the person who established psychological realism, the first to produce absurdist plays in Odia, and he was the playwright who is well known for experimentation among other things. Reality is never constant, and one of the roles of literature, science and arts is to reflect the changing reality. Sri Manoranjan Das ji strived to uphold the spirit and reflect the reality of changing times in his experimental plays. Each of his plays focused on different things. In fact, if one were to take up his dramas over his career, one can see how he himself was evolving, that is, the evolution of ourselves, reinventing ourselves, and so on, go on till the very end, and so were his plays. Timelessness, absurdism, generation gap, degrading values, human struggles in different settings, etc. are among the themes of his plays. He was a humanist to the core, and all his plays put human at the center, and he was one extraordinary scholar who was acutely aware of socio-economic political issues plaguing the region and nation. His well-known creations dealt with different issues as Sri Manoranjan Das ji went on terrific creative spree, and some of the examples are Banhansi dealt with timelessness, Aranya Fasal or Wild Harvest, as my colleague has already mentioned, for which he won Sahitya Akademi Award 5 decades ago, deals with absurdist traits. His Vidartika Aparnaha or Controversial Noon dealt with generation gap, and Nandika Kesari was the excellent portrayal of degradation of human values everywhere. As Sri Manoranjan Das ji was acutely aware of the problems of the downtrodden and the hypocrisy of the upper class of the society, he portrayed them to remind masses time and again the real issue at hand. The criticism that he did not touch the heart of the masses does not hold water, and all that Sri Manoranjan Das ji was doing was to create plays in his own unique style. Not all need to expose the issues and problems in the same way. No wonder some of his works have been translated into other languages. I will be failing in my duty if I do not touch upon the fact that Sri Manoranjan Das utilized the medium of All India Radio to spread the message and philosophy of the native culture. The real impact of Sri Manoranjan Das can be gauged from the number of playwrights in his own time and the next generation he influenced, and also provided quality entertainment and thought-provoking material for the theatre lovers of Odisha. He was the master who chiseled his own identity, paved his own path, and yet he opened the pathless land to countless Odia people. It is our great pleasure to organize this seminar to commemorate the birth centenary of Sri Manoranjan Das ji. Of course, there was a debate. According to some records, he was born in 2021, and in some official records in 2023. So of course, we are celebrating his birth centenary, irrespective of whether it is 21 or 23. I sincerely hope everyone participating and attending this program stands benefited. With these few words, I am glad to welcome all of you for this seminar once again. Thank you all.
Thank you. Before I request Gaura Haridas ji to make introductory remarks, I request all the respected participants in the inaugural session to please release the monograph that Sahitya Akademi published on Manoranjan Das, which is hot off the press. The monograph is written by Devi Prasad Satpathy. Thank you all. Now I request Dr. Gaura Haridas ji to please make introductory remarks. Gaura Haridas ji is an eminent Odia writer and has his writings in so many genres such as essays, novels, fiction for children, plays, travelogues, poetry and vignettes. Many of his major works have been translated into Hindi, English, Tamil and other Indian languages. Some of his works have been made into television serials, films and stage plays in various languages. He has been actively associated with the largest media house of Odisha, Sampad Group, for more than 38 years in various capacities. Dr. Das has been honored with Sahitya Akademi Award as well as Sahitya Akademi Translation Prize. Currently, he is the convener of Odia Advisory Board of Sahitya Akademi as well as member of the Finance Committee of Sahitya Akademi. I request Dr. Gaura Haridas to please make introductory remarks.
Suprabhat, Namaskar. Esteemed Chair, Professor Kumar Sharma ji, Vice President of Sahitya Akademi, Sanat Mahapatra, Eminent Director and Producer, and a living legend of my state, Professor Vijay Kumar Satpathy, who is representing Keynote Address session, Mr. Sahitya Das, Dr. Manoranjan Das, Dr. K. Sridhar, Secretary Sahitya Akademi, Sri Bhavan Member of Parliament, Deputy Secretary of Sahitya Akademi, and all the panelists, dignitaries, and known faces of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. While going through the history of Odia literature by Jati Mahanti, he was also a convener of Sahitya Academy at one point of time. I can address a statement of Jati Mahanti. He has made, I quote, like Gopinath Mahanti in a novel and Sahitya in poetry, Manoranjan Das grew to be a legend in Odia drama. I am happy to inform you that last Centenary seminars of Gopinath Mahanti and Sahitya were held here in this hall during 2013-14, and today we are holding the Centenary of Manoranjan Das. I convey my gratitude to Sahitya Academy on behalf of Odia Advisory Board and the writer of people of Odisha for suggestions to the stalwarts of Odia literature. Manoranjan Das was a legend. He confined himself to one genre, that is drama. He did not divert attention to any other branch of literature. His earliest dramas like Jovana, Kavi Samrat, August No, and Bakshi Jagan were written in the 40s of 20th century, and his last drama, Nandika Kesari, was written in 1985. After that, he was written only his autobiography. I don't think he has written any more dramas, Professor Vijay. I am subject to correction. In between, he wrote 16 full-length dramas, about 35 one-act plays, organized a number of theatre programs, produced films and radio plays, and innumerable dance and movie recitals. He was one of the founder members of Sujani, which was established in 1964, which brought a new wave in Odia drama. We have Mr. Anand Mahapatra, one of the closest friends of Manoranjan Das, and the founder member. There were 10 founding members of Sujani, and he was among them. And for Manoranjan Das, it's time and again, he has written about Anand Babu, that Anand Mahapatra was a hard task master. We have invited Station Director of India Radio, Katak, and the Secretary of Odisha Centenary Academy, Prabhu is here, and Prabhu is there because Manoranjan Das was associated with Centenary Academy as well as also India Radio. He was also associated with Odisha Sahitya and Rabindra Academy too. He was producer emeritus of All India Radio and Doordarshan. He was associated with Sahitya Academy for more than Sahitya Academy, Kendra Sahitya Academy for more than 2 decades. His contribution everywhere, be it Akademi, Sujani, All India Radio, Doordarshan, is phenomenal. And he was dedicated to his passion as well as profession. Friends, what makes a man so successful? What inspired him to travel on a new path? Manoranjan Das has narrated an event in his autobiography, Smriti Samrata. We have Mrs. Sahitya Das here, his daughter, as well as Professor Jatin Naik, the English translator of his autobiography, having audience. I was telling you about the event which took place in 1940. Young Manoranjan Das was staying in Bhujangal near Paradip at that time. He had just finished writing matriculation exam. During summer vacation, he and some of his friends organized 2 plays at Bhujangal. One of the plays was Bhavan, in which Manoranjan Das himself played the role of Dharma or Dharmapada. As you know, Dharmapada was the son of Vishnumarna, one of the main sculptors at Bhavan. Manoranjan had won some of his medals for his acting at Dharma, including one gold medal in that evening. After receiving awards and medals, Manoranjan had returned to the green room and was preparing for the next scene. Someone came into the green room and called him Babu, it was his nickname. Babu, come up to the stage, there is another medal waiting for you. This was the system at that time when medals were given not at the end but during the show. Manoranjan, in his costumes and attire Dharma, came up to the stage. Suddenly he noticed that his father was coming to the stage from the audience. Manoranjan Das could not make out why his father was coming to the stage. He was a little nervous. But his father, Engineer Arthabandhu Das, reached him, took out a silver medal from his pocket and pinned it on the scarf of Dharma. There was a huge round of applause in the audience. Manoranjan could not believe his eyes. The father looked at son and son looked at joyful appreciation in the eyes of father. After presenting the medal, his father went back out. Manoranjan Das had written in his autobiography, he was left with an indelible mark of inspiration, who saved his life, entire life, an artist and playwright. Friends, Sahitya Academy organized a meet-the-author program with Manoranjan on 26 November 1991. In the brochure printed for the occasion, it was written that Manoranjan, once a playwright whose subtle, sensitive and penetrative depiction of human actions on the stage, manages unwittingly, perhaps, to answer many questions more effectively than others. He has inspired a full generation of Odia audience to the connotations and implications of life and stimulated them towards an emotional void, the world both within and without. It is through his play that they have extended scope of their experiences and expressions. History of Odia literature divides 150 years of Odia drama into 3 pages. The early phase ranges from 1877 to 1920, belongs to Ramasankara, and the medieval era from 1921 to 1950 and beyond belongs to Kalicharan Patnaik. However, the modern phase since 1951 belongs to Manoranjan. He is the undisputed leader of this phase, who, like the mythical Bhagirath, brought in new waves of modern drama in Odisha. His dramas, as Dr. Bhavan mentioned, Banhamsi, Aranya Fasal, Amritasaputra and Dr. Buddha, brought significant changes to proscenium theatre in Odisha. He was the playwright who had the capacity to respond to the changes in taste and sensibility, and he had the ability to formulate these changes into excellent dramatic forms. Manoranjan was a law graduate and he started legal practice in 1956, but he gave it up after 2 years and joined All India Radio. As he is written in his autobiography, he was hypnotized by the mystic aura of theatre, music, makeup, costume, and was drawn near the stage. Drama was his passion. His single-minded devotion to drama, a continuous involvement for more than 60 years, is amazing. As Professor J. N. points, Manoranjan's creative capacity, intensity of perception, and depth of understanding together created a great viability for Odia drama after independence and provided it with necessary strength and dimensions to grow. With these words, I once again express my gratitude to Sahitya Academy and congratulate the learned scholars and academicians. I am personally thankful to Sahitya Mataji for his august presence over here. Eminent persons who have very kindly joining us in paying tribute to the outstanding playwright. We have scholars from Bengali, Hindi, and Odia literature here. I am sure their papers and deliberations would refresh our mind with the extraordinary achievements of Manoranjan, as well present a comparative study of his Indian contemporaries. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Bhavan. I now invite Sri Anant Mahapatraji to deliver inaugural address. Sri Anant Mahapatraji is a highly acclaimed theatre and film personality from Odisha who has written, directed and acted in over 100 plays. He has written, directed and produced short feature films for Doordarshan and wrote the screenplay and directed Mamani, the first feature-length film on Doordarshan in India, in Hindi and in Odia too. Sri Mahapatraji is the founder-director of Sujani. He founded the Utkal Rangamancha Trust, set up to give a fillip to professional theatre in Odisha. Revansha University, Cuttack has conferred on him an honorary doctorate. Sri Mahapatraji has earned many accolades, including Kavi Samrat Upendra Bhavan Samman, Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra Award, and Amrit Puraskar of Sangeet Natakar. Sri Anant Mahapatraji.
He came, he watched, and he wrote, and he conquered. Manoranjan Das. In reference to playwright, socialist, forward-looking, Odia playwright, representing not a language or a state, but a creative individual of a generation, indeed a centurion. Manoranjan was so close to me as a friend adventurer confidante that it is really difficult to look at him in the perspective of a playwright only. In his autobiography, Smriti Sangrah, monologue of dialogue, he has been very kind, rather patronizing about me and my deep involvement in the production of his plays. He has even gone to the extent of admiration beyond my ability, perhaps as also mutual admiration. I knew him when he was past 41 years and I was 26 years in 1964. A difference of 14 years, but hardly any difference in the approach to creative initiatives. We met when he was heading the drama section of All India Radio and I was an artist of the drama. Without much interaction, but fond affection and mutual respect. Then Srujani happened. It was the theatre movement. We were inspired by the Navanatya Andolan following Samuditra Utpaldar Polite's Tapas Sen in Calcutta from 60s. It was beginning of a bond which lasted a lifetime. His and most of us, members of Srujani, of which Biswajit Das, Govinda Tej, Hemanta Das, Sukolata Das, Tushar Panigrahi, Ravi Rai, Yasodhara Das, Suresh Patnaik has left us with memories. Only Vijay, Kumar Mahanti and me, counting days, weeks, months and years. So, what a coincidence to celebrate Manoranjan's centenary with almost a hand-holding situation, whereas to herald the trump of his success. I have directed 4 plays of his. First, Sagar Manthan, Turbulence of the Ocean, an adaptation from J.B. Priestley's An Inspector Called. The first play by Srujani. The first theatre group committed to regular staging of plays in Orissa on July 11, 1964 in the hired hall of Annapurna Theatre. First for 3 nights, and the admiration and applause prompted us to hire an auditorium on a long-term basis, Nari Seva Sadan, to be able to put up plays regularly, 3 nights every week. It seems unrealistic for a good theatre to stage a play for 4 weeks, to be followed by second play immediately, and the third again by Manoranjan, but an original Manoranjan, about which there is a lot of discussion, which received critical and general appreciation, but also for the production value. That I had received attention from the newspaper critic, leveling as the trendsetter of absurdity. One can't always pinpoint the fault of critics, but perhaps it started a dialogue in Odia theatre history. Amrit Bajat Patrika Calcutta edition had written, Manoranjan was a revolution in thematic treatment. Many eyebrows must have been raised to see Manoranjan with an absolutely abstract idea that represents intricate working of the minds, but a change, a distinct departure in ideas are in evidence. Maybe it will prove a turning point. Amritasya Putra was the third play for Srujani, which drew attention both for content and presentation. On an unusual stage setup, which extended inside the auditorium, an experience which thrilled the audience as they could almost touch the character. The theme stirred a lot of fundamental human values, as the main character, Sanatana, was the creator as well as the destroyer. The character played the role of a chorus also, like the narrator, as well as the hero and the villain, drawing parallels with the character of the hero and heroine who were going through pangs of suffering, of separation. Sanatana could relate to them through his song and dance as well. The play ran for more than 30 shows to bring Lawrence for playwright as well as the actors. Nandika Kesari was the fourth play which I directed with a historical, perhaps little mythical theme, and in traditional performing art form, drew attention of audience of the content and interpretation of historical background of King Subarna Kesari and his only daughter Nandika. Desperation in love leading to her suicide, though the performed by amateur group of actors. It was staged at Bhubaneswar for 5 shows, Baripada and Parapur. What perhaps touched the hearts was the lyrical dialogues and character interpretation. As Sutradhara, E Nandika Raja Ratanayo Nandika, Utkala Samrat Raja Subarna Kesarinko Duhita Nandika, Nandika Kesari, Raja Rodulali Nandika, Samantara Kanya Nandika, Josar Jio Nandika, Nandika Bihei Pare Konsi Jio Na, Otitaro, Bhavisvataro, Vartamanro, Satya Manavikata Jyoti Arthahina, Seti Jivanara Anna Nama Mrityu, Mrityu Jyoti Nirupaya, Khati Vapranta Seti Arthahina. Now you can clap.
Oh, we were expecting something more.
Well, that for that you need to hire this auditorium, and I think Mr. Mahanti can provide that.
No, there is a job from someone.
In his autobiography, he has written, a playwright wants a director who will understand his conscious psychic state, to be able to project the play accordingly. He has eulogized me to such a state I am humbled even today. I feel it's almost impossible to assess where the private emotion ends and the artistic emotions begin. Indeed, it's a partnership which may not have described but realized for the benefit of both partners. I would end with a quote from Charlie Chaplin. I went into business for money and art grew out of it. Do you assess a person who has achieved in one particular arena? I think he has to be a father who looked after his family well, as we found his children, particularly Dr. Sikata Das, an eminent Odissi dancer, and established herself is present here. That's Manoranjan Das. He has to be efficient in his profession, as in his job as All India Radio Secretary, Sahitya, Sangita, Lalit Kala Akademi. That's Manoranjan Das. He has to be aware of his social responsibility and share the same. That's Manoranjan Das.
Thank you, sir, for unfurling the significance of Manoranjan Das's plays. And you were indeed mesmerizing when you read out an excerpt from the play Nandini Kesari. Thanks a lot.
Another round of clap.
I invite now Shri Vijay Kumar Satpathy to deliver keynote address. Vijay Kumar Satpathy retired as Professor of Odia in the year 2012 from Utkal University, Wani Vihar. He has more than 25 years of research and 27 years of teaching experience in the field of linguistics and modern literature. He has 10 books of criticism, 24 drama books, 14 edited works, and more than 100 research articles published in different reading journals. He is also the recipient of the prestigious Odisha Sahitya Akademi Award, fellowship from HRD, Government of India, and received more than 40 awards from several organizations. He is a member of the General Council, Sahitya Akademi, and Emeritus Professor at KISS, Bhubaneswar. Shri Vijay Kumar Satpathy.
Namaskar. Good wishes to all. Manoranjan, Samaji, Vice President, Sahitya Akademi, Manoranjan, Secretary, Dr. Rabindra, Dr. Mataji, Eminent politician, Parliament member, Dr. Gaurav Ji, Convener, Anant Mataji, Shikara Dasi, Honorable Commander Vijan Singh Ji, and eminent scholars, writers. My duty is to present here the keynote address, just to open the key for Manoranjan for discussion. Manoranjan is the chief exponent of new theatre movement in Odisha. That movement is popularly known as Navaratri Andolana by the theatre critics. He was born in 1921 in the village near Kotak named Harkada, Patna, and he passed his childhood days in Ujam near Paradip. At that time, his father was serving there. The extent-scenic beauty of Ujam impressed Manoranjan, and later on, one can find his reflections time and again. His father, Artabandhu, who was an engineer by profession, was the local agent of Bhavan Maharaj of Bengal in his childhood. Manoranjan completed his school's education in Ujam and Kotak, and the theatre was his paternal heritage. He started acting from his childhood till he was a student of intermediate class, faculty mentioned by Dr. Gaurav. He passed intermediate examination in the year 1942, and then he studied graduation in Rabindra College, Kotak. In his school days and college career, he gathered experiences from the socio-political changes of his surroundings, like Quit India movement and freedom movement. He witnessed the freedom struggle, the impact of Marxism on the political scenario, the emergence of Prajamangal Andolan in different feudal states of Odisha, and a cultural change which was looming large in the socio-economic horizon of Odisha. No doubt, those multifarious, tremendously energetic and intense experiences helped him to write plays in future. When he was a student in Rabindra College, he wrote his first play, Bhavan, and it was staged by Annapurna Theatre in the year 1944. The play had a message to the youth to give up indulgence and complacency and to do hard work for the emancipation of the country. In the second half of the same decade, Manoranjan wrote three major plays. Avashanal in 1947, Bakshi Ravandu in 1949, and Akademi in 1950. Avashanal is based on Quit India movement of 1942 and its impact on Odisha. The play gives a vivid description of patriotism and assertive sacrifice for motherland. The motivation of the play was provided at the end by Professor Das, the hero of the play, the mentor and a leading character. The outcome of Quit India movement and in faith in future. His dialogue is, nobody can take away the rights of birth. No amount of torture and exploitation one can alter democracy. You will see Amar, another character Amar. You will see Amar, the free offering of a free nation. Manoranjan's famous play Bakshi is extremely popular and powerful even today for its historical and patriotic context. Here the playwright successfully establishes Bakshi, the national hero, as the symbol of aspirations of oppressed Indians who were eagerly waiting to be free from colonial bondage. The dialect pattern and the theatrical devices of the historical play is new, and it differs from other historical plays of Odia literature. In the beginning of his literary career, Manoranjan wrote plays for professional theatres. Gradually he felt that the realistic theatres performed by professional stages were not capable to depict a man within a man and the human psyche. The aim of professional theatre is to portray external reality and to entertain the audience. There is no scope to search for newness. So Manoranjan left professional theatre and he began to write plays for the group theatre. In this context, his play Akademi 1950 is considered to be the milestone of Odia theatre. It was staged by the group theatre United Artists of Cuttack. In 1950, for the first time, the theatre viewers of Odisha realized how the inner man is portrayed on the stage. The modern tragedy, Akademi is a modern tragedy of defeat and loss, where the four characters Sarasi, Kalyani, Sarat and Saroj have to live for future, though they are defeated and their hopes and aspirations are shattered, destroyed. The play deals with the psychoanalysis of the above characters with a pessimistic tune, because life has lost its glamour for them. Gopinath Mahanti, the Jnanapith award-winning novelist of Odisha, wrote in the first edition of Akademi, the reporter line, in one leap, Odia drama has crossed the gap between the medieval and modern. Economy for Odia Nataka, Madhya Yugaru Jain, Adhunika Yugari Ponchi. Akademi was closely followed by Avarot in 1951. Its vision is one of the complete darkness and distress. It is an awareness how political powers dominate and destroy the factors of life, and how personal honesty and integrity are caught in pieces by political chicanery, hypocrisy and smallness. Mr. Das, the Chief Minister is in favor of common and oppressed people, but his ministry and officers, they oppose it. No confidence motion against him is passed. Meanwhile, the Sudhanshu, with his large number of proletarian fellows, घेराव the secretariat. The tense situation, the DG police order for firing. The bloodshed, dead bodies were lying outside of the secretariat gate. In this tense situation and devastated situation, Chief Minister Mr. Das told to his daughter, Bonani, there is siege everywhere. Chariot Avarodha. Chaturthikar Avarodha, there is siege everywhere by the selfish exploiters. Do not fear, Bonani. It is meaningless, like a child rattle. There is a widespread of resentment among the mass. Then Mr. Das took the mosal from the hands of the Sudhanshu and told, Janata Jagirani, Kahi Avarodha. I will lead the procession with the mosal. Where is the siege? Manoranjan successfully has given a progressive touch to that play. In fact, from 1900 to 51, from his first play, Jogana to Avarod, is the first phase of his dramatic career. After 1951, Manoranjan was physically and mentally restless. He started business in Kujan, joined in Delhi radio station, but he could not successful in his venture. In this period, he wrote several short plays. Really, those plays are new experiments in Odia theatre. He joined as a drama producer in All India Radio Cuttack in 1951 for the second time in the radio station. He left Delhi and in 1958 he joined as a producer in All India Radio Cuttack. And his involvement with theatre was again established. His experimental short plays got a wider scope to reach a large number of listeners and the plays became popular too. Short plays, unlike the plays of little theatre movement of Europe, took its origin and development in Odisha by the veteran dramatist Manoranjan after 1960. Manoranjan has two traditional one-act plays. Besides that, there are one-act plays like Choto Nataka, Mahasamudra, Avavahika Swapna, Vichitra Manora Natak, and the number of the one-act plays is more than 30. Manoranjan is a very important, he has a very important one-act play named Takshaka. Takshaka actually is an allegory based on Vedanta Panchamisha. It is in the 6th volume of his collected plays. Manoranjan depicts the subconsciousness of modern man, that man has lost his identity and is suffers from loss of communication. एते शब्द एते भाषा थाई भी जड़े जन बुझी पाए भूल बुझा बुझी दे जाए शांति मिले. There are enough sounds, words, sentences in human possession to communicate his feelings, but in vain. Life had lost its glamour. It is a terrible exile. Fundamental perceptions of life regarding communication, identity, and existence are vividly portrayed in his full-length plays Anahansi, Aranya Fasal, Urmi, Saptalipi, and Klanta Prajapati in Vitarkita Paran. Manoranjan was associated with the group theatre Sujani. That already told Ananta Mahapatraji. His other friends in the group were Ananta Mahapatra, Govind Tej, and Hemanta Das. With the establishment of the theatre group, Manoranjan's creative zeal received another boost. It is needless to say that his enthusiasm for the exploration of human psyche and inner self persists even 1980 and afterwards. Manoranjan was a student of psychology. He is well acquainted with the abnormality of the man, his suppressed desire, premonitions, schizophrenic behavior, feelings for different kinds of manias, and feeling of absurdity. Saptalipi, the last play of the group, Sujan. Professor Jatindra Mohanty rightly remarked about that play. The perception of life is deepest, and to that extent it is the most philosophical. Its structure neither here nor there. It sprouts normally like any other social play of crime with 6 characters, 5 men and 1 woman, with the director continually shaping and reshaping to give an impression all the time that whatever is happening is all illusion. Manoranjan used different symbols. Those are character symbols and stage symbols. For example, in order to present timelessness in Varanasi, he took a wall clock without pendulum in the stage. And in Aranya Fasal, the goat, the bungalow, the dense forest symbolize the libido and human mind. In Amrutasaputra, all characters, Sujata, Sanatana, Vimoda, and Nirmala, and Special Master himself, all are symbolic characters. Even the setting of the platform, voting room, and train in the play are symbolic. His famous play Kathogoda symbolizes lifelessness. Manoranjan studies European theatre as well as Indian classic theatre. In his experiments, he has adopted a curious mixture of East and West. He is well versed with Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra, Dhananjay's Dasarupakam, and similarly with the theory of Aristotle, Brecht, Stanislavski, the founder of Moscow theatre, Grotowski, upon his theatre, as well as the Vadal Sarkar, one of the prominent theoreticians of modern Indian drama. Sarkar is famous for his third theatre or synthesis theatre. She thus studied all the plays of Strindberg, Samuel Beckett, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill, Tennessee Williams, Pirandello, and other famous playwrights of world drama. Manoranjan, for the first time in Odisha, experimented the folk elements with modern flux and sensibility. It is Amrutasya. It is very great. He used two popular songs in Vaishnampani's Vidinatya with the dialogue of Sanatana and Sucheta later on in Kathogoda and his play Nandika Kesari. He explored the folk element of Jatra and Deshiya Nata in a magnificent manner. Manoranjan also translated and adopted plays for stage and AIR. He adopted from J.B. Priestley's An Inspector Calls in Sagar Manthanam in 1968 for stage, and it is the first production of Sudan. He translated also from Molière's Would-Be Gentleman to Bhadralok for Kumar Utsav Samiti in the year 1965. Vijan Bhattacharya's Navanna, he translated it in the year 1976. And the Molière's The Physician in Spite of Himself to Tatharki Doctor, he translated Molière. For NBT and Akasavani Degradation work. The plays of Manoranjan are translated in English, Hindi and Bengali. His Kathogoda is translated by Professor Jatin Nayak here and Professor Arun Mahanti in English as Wooden Horse. August 9 is also translated by Professor Jatin Nayak as 9th August. Vitarkita Paranna is translated into English by Tarun Kanti Mishra here. And his Saptalipti is translated by Vibhu Padi and Gurucharan Bear. Tarun Kanti Rao. And Tarun Kanti Rao as afternoon Paris. Vitarkita Paranna as afternoon Paris. Banansi is translated as Wild Harvest by Professor E. Das and P. N. Das. Saptalipti is translated by Vibhu Padi and Gurucharan Bear. Nandika Kesari is translated by P. N. Das. Apart from English, his plays Paranya Fasal, Kathogoda, Saptalipti, Vitarkita Aparanna, Klanta, Prajapati are translated in Hindi and Bengali also. Manoranjan has written his autobiography, Shruti Sangrat. It is really the history of modern Odia theatre. From independence to contemporary period. And it is also translated by Professor Jatin Nayak in English. And it is published by National Trust of India. Manoranjan Das is highly acclaimed and popular playwright of Odisha, like Girish Karnad, Vijay Tendulkar, Badal Sarkar, Arun Sharma in their respective languages. He brought newness, freshness and vitality to Odia theatre. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sarpatiji, for brilliantly elaborating on themes Manoranjan Das's plays and the techniques that he employed. And thanks also for specifically mentioning Dakshak, his extraordinary one act. Thanks a lot. I now invite Dr. Sahitya Dasji, the daughter of distinguished playwright Manoranjan Dasji. Sahitya is an accomplished dancer of international repute. She has performed Odissi dance in places such as Paris, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Boston, Dayton, St. Louis, Houston, San Francisco, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, etc. etc. At present, she is the head of dance department of Guru Kelucharan Odissi Research Center, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Sikata Darji.
Respected Vice President and Sahitya Akademi, Secretary Eminent Convener Odia Playwright, Sahitya Akademi, organises, Member General Council Secretary, Vijay Kumar Saraswati, Deputy Secretary, Sahitya Akademi, Krishna Kumar, Nirmal Kantivakarya ji, Jatindra Kumar Naik ji, Ajay Patnaik ji, Shriman Mishra ji, Satyabrata Rao ji, Tarun Kanti Rao ji, Pramod Kumar ji, Pradeep Kumar Mohanty ji, Vijayananda Singh ji, everybody, those are, I don't know exactly the name of all, but Paturaj ji, my humble pranam to all the dignitaries. It's a great honor for me to be here in this centenary celebration of my father. From the core of my heart, I thank Sahitya for arranging all these things and invited me to be here. I will speak about my father, only my father, the relation between daughter and father. I will speak from my heart. I will speak from my blood. Then excuse me, I will talk in Odia. It will be more expressive. It will be more communicative to all people. छोट बयसरू बापांकु जानिबार क्षमता मोर नथिला बयस बढ़िया अनुसार बापांकु चिन्हिबा जानिबा बापांकर व्यक्तित्व बापांकर आदर्श बापांकर महनीयता धीरे धीरे अनुभव बापा स्नेहमय करुणामय छोट बेले आम घरे आम यौथ फैमिली बापा और दादा दी भाई आपण माने जानथिबे कि नहीं मो दादा लक्ष्मण हेले मो बापा थिले राम इज द ग्रेट फॉलोअर आ एका दिने 8 वर्ष अंतराल रे एका दिने जन्म होइथिले एका राशि एका दिने जन्मदिन पालन करा होतला से पर्यंत आम घरे मो बापांकर 4 संतान आ मो दादांकर 4 संतान मो बापा थिले 4 संतान मो जेजेकर भी 4 संतान बापा सबुठु बड़ तातले दादा तातले मो दी पीस तो बापा केवल 8 पिला को पालन करि नथिले 10 पिला आमे भाबुतु आमे 5 भाई और 5 भौणी काहे ना मोर जणे विधवा पीस रो वो मोर पीस को भाई सी भी हमरी घरे मनीष हिचते आ जणे मो बड़ बापा को थियो सी भी हमरी घरे मनीष हिचते आमे 10 जण भाबो भाई भौणी 10 भाई भौणी रे परिवार बापा चलो बापा होती मुख्य बापा सब कथा बुझुथिले हमर पाठ पढिबा आर्थिक सब कथा बापा ही बुझुथिले बापा सुमन्या छोट बेले केबे काहा को मारिबार कि गाड़ी देबार हम केबे सुनिनु के देखि बहु बेले बेले रागी की गाड़ी दिए पिला माने दुष्टा ले बापा बहुत प्रोटेक्टिव थे पिला प्रति सब बेले केबे मारणी पिला को बुझे दियो मारणी किंतु डायलॉग छड़े एति सुंदर भाबे हम पिला मान को बुझौते धीरे धीरे हम बुझी पारिलु बापांकर ए जो डायलॉग नो हमर आत्मविश्वास बढ़ौते जदि के दुष्ट हैला बापा केमि कहथिले आपण मन जानती बापा कहथिले जे देखो पिले तुमको स्वाधीनता देछि ता अर्थ न स्वच्छता स्वाधीनता को ग्रहण करो स्वच्छता धर्म ଏଇ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ବାପାଙ୍କର ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଥିଲା ଏଇଭଳି ଭାବେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ପଢ଼ିବାର ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ବହୁତ ଥିଲା, ଅନେକ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ନେଇଥିଲେ ବାପା। ମୋର ବଡ଼ ଭାଇ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯେଉଁ ପୁଅ ଭାଇ କଥା କହୁଛି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ ପାଠ ପଢ଼ି ବାପା ସେତେବେଳେ ଆର୍ଥିକ ଅବସ୍ଥା ବି ଏତେ ଭଲ ନଥିଲା, ଆମେ ମଧ୍ୟବିତ୍ତ ପରିବାରରେ ଜନ୍ମ ନେଇଛୁ। ସେତେବେଳେ ବାପା କହନ୍ତି ଯେ ତାଙ୍କର ଫିସ୍ ଭରଣ କରିବାକୁ କମ୍ କିଛି ଟଙ୍କା ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ବୋଲି ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ କଲେଜରେ ବାପା ତାଙ୍କ ସାଇକେଲଟି ବିକ୍ରି କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ, ସେଇ ପଇସା ଆଣି ଭର୍ତ୍ତି କରିଦେଲେ। ମୋ ସାନ ଭାଇ ଦାଦାଙ୍କର ସବୁଠୁ ସାନ ପୁଅ ନିତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ ପଢ଼ିବାକୁ ଚେନ୍ନାଇ ଗଲା, ମୋର ମନେ ଅଛି ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ବଡ଼ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲି, ସେ ସବୁଠୁ ସାନ ଭାଇ ମୋର। ମୋ ଦାଦା କହିଲେ ନା ମୁଁ ଏତେ ପଇସା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିପାରିବିନି, ତୋର ସବୁ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ। ବାପା କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ତାର ହଷ୍ଟେଲ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚଟା ଦେବି, ବିଭୂତି ମୁଁ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଦେବି। ଆଉ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ କି ବାପା, ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ବାପା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଲେଖୁଥିଲେ ରାତିରେ ବହୁତ ସମୟ ଲେଖନ୍ତି, ସବୁ ରୁମ୍ ଅନ୍ଧାର ହେଇଯାଇଥିବ, ବାପାଙ୍କର ବେଡରୁମ୍ରେ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଜଳୁଥିବ, ବାପା ବହୁତ ପଢ଼ାପଢ଼ି କରନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଲେଖନ୍ତି। ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ବାପା ଦେଇକି ସିଗାରେଟ୍ ଟାଣୁଥିଲେ। ବାପା କହିଲେ ଆଜିଠୁ ମୋ ସିଗାରେଟ୍ ଟାଣ ବନ୍ଦ, ମୁଁ ନିତୁ ପାଇଁ ସେଇ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚଟା ମୁଁ ଯୋଗେଇଦେବି, ତୋର ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବା ନାହିଁ। ବାପା ଥିଲେ ଆତ୍ମସମ୍ମାନ, ଆମକୁ ବି ସେଇଥିରେ ବି କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିଥିଲି। ବାପାଙ୍କର ଦୁଇଟା ଜିନିଷ ମୁଁ ଇନହେରିଟ୍ କରିଛି। ମୁଁ ମୁହଁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଚେହେରାଟା ବାପାଙ୍କର ପାଇଛି, ତେଣୁ ଛୋଟବେଳୁ ଯିଏ ଦେଖନ୍ତି କହନ୍ତି ଆରେ ତୁ ମନୋରଞ୍ଜନ ଦାସ ଝିଅ, ଏକଦମ ମୁହଁ ତ ଏମିତିଆ ବାପାର ପାଇଛୁ। ଗୋଟିଏ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟଟି ପାଇଛି, ଇନହେରିଟ୍ କରିଛି କଳା ସାହିତ୍ୟ ପ୍ରତି ଅନୁରାଗ। ଆମେ 10 ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ ଭିତରୁ ମୁଇଁ ବୋଧେ ଏହି ଲାଇନରେ କିଛି କାମ କଲି, କରୁଛି ଏବଂ କରିବି। ଶେଷରେ କହିବି ବାପାଙ୍କର କ'ଣ ମୁଁ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି, ବାପାଙ୍କର କଥା ମୁଁ ଆହୁରି କହିବି। ବାପା ବହୁତ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ପ୍ରେମୀ ଥିଲେ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଏକାଡେମୀ ସ୍ନାତକ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ଥିଲେ ବାପା, ସେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିଥିଲା। ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ବାପା କିନ୍ତୁ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା ଆମ ଘରେ କରେଇଥିଲେ ସେଇ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିବା ପରେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଗରୁ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ପ୍ରେମୀ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଲେଖା ଯେତେ ବହି ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ବାପାଙ୍କର ସେତିକିଟା ପେନ୍, ଜଗନ୍ନାଥଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ନେବେ, ଛୁଆଇବେ, ଆଣିବେ, ଲେଖିବେ ଆଉ ରଖିବେ। ସେ ପେନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ସବୁ ଅଛି, ଏବେ ବି ସୁଦ୍ଧା ଆମ ଘରେ ଅଛି। ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଥିଲେ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ, ତାଙ୍କର ଗୁଣାକାର ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରାଇଭରଟେ ଥିଲା, ବାପା ତାକୁ ଭାରି ଭଲ ପାଆନ୍ତି। ଗୁଣାକାର ମଉସାକୁ ସବୁ କଥା କୁହନ୍ତି, ଆଉ କୁହନ୍ତି ବି ଘରେ କହିବୁନି ବୋଉକୁ ବି ଏତେ ଗୁଡ଼ା କଥା, ହଁ କହିବୁନି। ସିଏ ବାପା ମନେ ଅଛି ଡେଲି ଆସୁଥିଲେ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଏକାଡେମୀ ଆଉ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ନାଟକ ଏକାଡେମୀର ମେମ୍ବର ଥିଲେ, ବାପା ଅଧିକାଂଶ ସମୟରେ ଡେଲି ଆସୁଥିଲେ। ଗୋଟେ ଥର ଡେଲି ଆସିବାର ପୂର୍ବ ଦିନ ସେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଦେଖିଲେ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ 2 ଫାଳ ହେଇକି ଫାଟି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଯୋଡ଼ି ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି। ତା ପରଦିନ ଫ୍ଲାଇଟ୍ ଧରିକି ଆସିବାର ଥିଲା। ସେ ଗୁଣାକାରକୁ କହିଲେ ଗୁଣାକାର, ମୁଁ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଦେଖିଛି। ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ସେନ୍ସ ଥିଲା, ବହୁତ ସମୟରେ ବହୁତ କଥା ସେ ବୁଝିପାରୁଥିଲେ ଆଉ ଜାଣିପାରୁଥିଲେ। ସେ କହିଲେ ଦେଖ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଅଘଟଣା ଘଟିବ, ଆଉ କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତିଯିବି, ତୁ ଏ କଥାଟା ଜାଣିଥା, ଯଦି କିଛି ଖବର ପାଇବୁ ତୁ ତାହେଲେ ଘରେ କହିବୁ ଏବେ କିଛି କହିନଥିବୁ। ଗୁଣାକାରକୁ କହିକି ଯାଇଥିଲି। ତାପରେ ସତ କଥା ବାପା ଆସି ଫ୍ଲାଇଟ୍ରୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି କେଉଁ ଜାଗାରେ ରହିବା ପାଇଁ, ସେତେବେଳେ ଅଟୋରେ ଧରିକି ଆସୁଥିଲେ। ସିଏ ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଭଦ୍ର ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି 2 ଜଣ ଚେୟାର ଧରିକି ଅଟୋ ଆସୁଥିଲେ। ଦିଲ୍ଲୀରେ ଟ୍ରକ୍ ଆସି ସାମ୍ନାରୁ ଧକ୍କା ମାରିଲା, 2 ଜଣ ଯାକ ପଡ଼ିଗଲେ। ଆଉ ବାପା ଅନକନସିୟସ୍, ଲୋକମାନେ ଟେକାଟେକି କରିକି ସୁଟକେସ୍ ଫୁଟକେସ୍ ଖୋଲିଲେ, ଦେଖିଲେ ବାପାଙ୍କ ନାଁ, ଜାଣିଲେ କିଏ ବୋଲି ବୁଝିଲେ। ତାପରେ ଫୋନ୍ କରିକି ଜାଣିପାରିଲେ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ଡକ୍ଟର ଦେଖେଇଲେ। ତାପରେ ବାପା ଯେତେବେଳେ ହୋସ୍ ଆସିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିଥିଲେ ଯେ ଡ୍ରାଇଭରଟି ମୃତ ଆଉ ଆରଟି ଇଞ୍ଜର୍ଡ ସିରିୟସ୍। କିନ୍ତୁ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥଙ୍କ କୃପାରୁ ବାପାଙ୍କ ଦେହରେ ଟିକେ ବି କୋଉଠି ଖରଚ ହେଇନଥିଲା, ଖାଲି ବେହୋସ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲେ, ସେ ସକ୍ରେ। ତାପରେ ମିଟିଂ ଫିଟିଂ ସାରିକି ଗଲା ପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଘରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲେ, ମନା କହିଲେ ମା ବାବୁ କହିକି ଯାଇଥିଲେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ମନା କରିଥିଲେ ଏ କଥା କହିବୁନି, ମା ଡରିବ। ସେଇଠି ବାପା କହିଲେ ପ୍ରଭୁ ତମେ ମୋତେ ଆଗରୁ ଜଣେଇଲ କଥା, ଆଉ ସେ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିଲା, ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ହେଲେ ମୋରି ଘରେ ସ୍ଥାପନ କରିବି। ତାପରେ କହିକି ଅନେକ ଦିନ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଥିଲେ। ହଠାତ୍ ଦିନେ ସେଇ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଏକାଡେମୀ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ଥିଲାବେଳେ ବହୁତ ଲୋକ, ବହୁତ କଳାକାର ଆସୁଥିଲେ, ବାପାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଦେଖା କରୁଥିଲେ। ଜଣେ ଆସିଲେ ପୁରୀରୁ, ଆମର ଦଇତାପତି ଜଣେ, କହିଲେ ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ନେଇକି ଆସିଛି। ଟିକେ କାଗଜରେ ଗୁଡ଼ା ହେଇକି ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ୟାକେଟ୍ ଭଳିଆ ଧରିକି ଆସିକି ଟେବୁଲ ପରେ ଥୋଇଲେ। ବାପା କହିଲେ ଯେ କ'ଣ ନା ଆପଣ ଖୋଲିବେ ଘରକୁ ନେବେ ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଇଟା ଦାରୁ କାଠରେ ହେଇଛି ଖାଲି ଏତିକି କହୁଛି। ବାପା ଖୋଲିଲେ ଦେଖିଲେ 3 ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ବଳଭଦ୍ର ଏବଂ ସୁଭଦ୍ରା। ବାପା ନେଇ ଘରେ ମନ୍ଦିର ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା କଲେ। ସେଇ ଦିନଠୁ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ବର୍ଷ ଅକ୍ଷି ତୃତୀୟା ଦିନ ଆପଣମାନେ ଜାଣିଥିବେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଡାକନ୍ତି ଆମେମାନେ ବି ଯାଉ କିନ୍ତୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆଉ ହଉନି ସେଇଟା ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲା। ବାପା ଗଲେ ବାପାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ବୁଝାଯାଏ। ତାପରେ ବାପା ବହୁତ ୱିଟି ଥିଲେ। ବୈଷ୍ଣବ ଦେବୀ ଆମେ ତିନି ଝିଅ 3 ଜଣ ବାପା ବୋଉ ଦାଦା ସମସ୍ତେ ବୈଷ୍ଣବ ଦେବୀ ଯାତ୍ରା କଲୁ। ବାପା ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ପନିରେ ବସିଥାନ୍ତି ମୁଣ୍ଡରେ ବାନ୍ଧିଥାନ୍ତି ବାରମ୍ବାର ରଖିକି ପନିକି ଝିଅମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଓହ୍ଲେଇକି ଫଟୋ ନେଉଥାନ୍ତି। ତାପରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲେ ସେଇଠି ଗାଧୋଇ ପାଧୋଇ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯିବୁ ଦାଦା ସବୁଦିନ ଗାଧୋଇବା ତେଲ ଟିକେ ମାଲିସ ହୁଅନ୍ତି। ନିଅନ୍ତୁ କହିଲେ କିଏ ତେଲ ଆଣିଛ ତେଲ ଆଣିଛ ବାପା ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଏମିତି ଦେଖାଉଛନ୍ତି ହାତ ସେଇଠିକି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ବେଗିଂ ଇଜ୍ ପ୍ରୋହିବିଟେଡ୍। ବାପା ଏମିତି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାମାନେ ଦାଦାଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଦେଖାଉଛନ୍ତି ତୁ ତେଲ ମାଗେନି। ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ମାନେ ହସ ଖୁସି ପିଲାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବହୁତ ସମୟ କଟେଇଥିଲେ। ଛୋଟବେଳେ ଅରଣ୍ୟ ଫସଲ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ମିଳିଲା। ମୁଁ ଛୋଟ ହେଇଥିଲି 10-11 ବର୍ଷ ଖଣ୍ଡେ ହେଇଥିଲି। ବାପାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ପଚାରିଥିଲି ବାପା ତମେ କେମିତି ପାଇଲ ଆଉ କେମିତି ପାଇଲେନି ଜଣେ ରାଇଟରଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଏତେ ବହି ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ ତ ଏତେ ବହି ଲେଖିନା ନା ତମେ ତ କମ୍ ଲେଖିଛ ତମେ କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ କେମିତି ତମକୁ କେମିତି ସିଲେକ୍ଟ କଲେ? ବାପା ମୋତେ ଉତ୍ତର ଦେଇଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ତତେ କହୁଛି କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଆଉ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟି ଫରକ ଅଛି। କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଜୀବନରେ ଏଇଟା ମନେ ରଖ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାହା କରିବ ଇଟ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଭେରି କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍। ଇଟ୍ ମେ ନଟ୍ ବି କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟେଟିଭ୍ ଇଟ୍ ସୁଡ୍ ବି ଭେରି କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍। ସେଇ ଜୀବନର ଆଦର୍ଶକୁ ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଯାକେ ରଖିବି। ମୁଁ ବି ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରେ ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷଟା କରିବି ପର୍ସପେକ୍ଟିଭ୍ କରିବି ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ କୋରିଓଗ୍ରାଫି କରିବି କି ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଶିଖେଇବି କି ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ ପରଫର୍ମ କରିବି ଦ ବେଷ୍ଟ ପାଥୱେ କରି ବାପା ମୋତେ ନେଇକି ଛୋଟବେଳେ ପଳାଇକି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ମୋ ଗୁରୁ ପଦ୍ମବିଭୂଷଣ କାଳୀଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଛାଡ଼ିଥିଲି। ତାଙ୍କର ପାଖରେ ନୃତ୍ୟ ଶିକ୍ଷା କରନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସହିତ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କାମ ବି କଲି ଆଉ ଆଜି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବି କରୁଛି। ଆଉ ଏତେ ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ହାତ ଗୋଡ଼ ଚାଲୁଥିବ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି କରିବି ସବୁ ନେଇ ବାପାଙ୍କର ଅବଦାନ। ବାପା ନା ଛାଡ଼ିଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ବୋଧେ ଏ ଲାଇନ୍ରେ କାମ କରିନଥାନ୍ତି। ଯାହା ହଉ ବାପା ଜମା ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲିଷ୍ଟିକ୍ ନଥିଲି। ପୂଜାକୁ ସବୁ ଛାଡ଼ି ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲି କଟକ 1 ବର୍ଷର ହେଇକି କଟକରେ ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲି। ତାପରେ ଅବଶ୍ୟ ଆମକୁ ସବୁବେଳେ କହନ୍ତି ସର୍ବ ସମାନ ଜନସଂଘ ପରିବାର ତମେ ପୂଜଙ୍ଗ ଆମକୁ ମୋତେ କେବେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ଦେଇନାହାନ୍ତି ଯିବାକୁ ଦେଇନାହାନ୍ତି ପୂଜଙ୍ଗ କିମ୍ବା କୌଣସି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ମୋ ବଡ଼ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀମାନେ ଦେଖିଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋ ଜନ୍ମ ପରେ ବାପା କଟକରେ ହିଁ ସବୁବେଳେ କୁହନ୍ତି ତୁ ଲକି ମୋ ପାଇଁ କାହିଁକି ନା ମୁଁ ତୋ ଜନ୍ମ ପରେ ମୁଁ ଧରିଲି ଗୋଟେ ଲାଇନ୍ ସେଇ ଲାଇନ୍ରେ ମୁଁ କାମ କଲି ସେଇ ଲାଇନ୍ରେ ମୁଁ ଆଗକୁ ବଢ଼ିଲି। ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ବିଜନେସ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି ମାଛ ବ୍ୟବସାୟ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଓକିଲାତି କରିଛନ୍ତି ବଟ୍ ସେସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଭିତରେ ସେ ରହିପାରିନଥିଲେ। ସେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରିୟ ଲାଇନ୍ ଭିତରକୁ ସାହିତ୍ୟରେ ସେ କାମ କଲେ। ଶେଷ କଥା କହିବି ମୋତେ ବହୁତ ଜଲ୍ଦି ବାପା ବାହାର କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ। 18 ବର୍ଷ ବୋଲି 19 ଚାଲିଥିଲା ମୋତେ ବାହାର କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ। ମନ ବିଦ୍ରୋହ ହେଇନଥିଲା ବୋଲି ମିଛ କହିବିନି କିନ୍ତୁ ଭାବିଲି ବାପା କ'ଣ ଭାବିକି ତ ମୋତେ ବାହାର କରିଥିବେ ନା କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ ଅବାଧ୍ୟ କେବେ ହେଇନି ତାଙ୍କର କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଥିବ ଯାହା ବି ହଉ। ମୋତେ ସବୁବେଳେ କହନ୍ତି ତୋର ଯଦି ଟ୍ୟାଲେଣ୍ଟ ଥିବ ତୁ କରିପାରିବୁ। ମୁଁ ବାପାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ବିଦା ହେଲା ବେଳେ କହିଥିଲି ବାପା ମୋତେ ଏମିତି ଜାଗାରେ ବି ବାହାର କରୁଛ ଏକଦମ ଗାଁରେ ବୋହୂ ହେଇକି ଯାଇଥିଲି ମୋତେ ଏମିତି ଜାଗାରେ ବାହାର କରୁଛ ନାଚ କ'ଣ ନାଚ ଛଡ଼ା ପାଠ ବି ମୋତେ ପଢ଼ିବାକୁ ଦେବେନି। ସତ କଥା କହୁଛି ମୋ ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ ବି ଏଇଠି ଅଛନ୍ତି କ୍ଷମା ମାଗୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ସତ କଥା କହୁଛି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ସତ୍ୟବାଦୀ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ କହେ ସତ କଥା କିନ୍ତୁ ବାପା କହିଥିଲେ ଗୋଟିଏ କଥା ଦେଖ ମା जदि तोर टैलेंट थो जदि तोर इच्छा थी जदि तोर मनोबल थो तू सब कथा करि परिबे आ करी बापा से आदर्श मानी हम पाठ पढ़ी चाकरी भी करी ए लाइन में काम किंतु सब बड़े अभिमान दिला मोर बापा मते जल्दी बाहा कर दे मते पाठ पढ़िया के देई नथि जेतबे मु दिल्ली रे थी बहुत वर्ष चेन्नई रे थी बहुत वर्ष बाहर हरिद्वार रे थी अनेक वर्ष मेरठ रे थी अनेक वर्ष सी वर्ष भितर जेतबे मु जाउथली बापा पाखु जाए सब वर्ष 2-3 थर जाए बापा फेरिला बेलू गोटे हम पाखरे गोटे लखन साहु दुकान अछि गोटे बड़ छेनापोड़ पैकेट निश्चित से पैकेटा होता आसिक जाइए बांटी से खाइबू तू पिलाने आ प्लस साई पड़ोसा को बांटी से निश्चित प्रति तो बहु केते कथा कौन सजाई था छेनापोड़ को बापा प्रिय दुकान दिला भुवनेश्वर प्रिया प्रिया मो हस्बैंड को साथ सब बढ़िया खाइबे करते ଏବେ ବି ମୋ ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ କହିଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ଯେତେ ତାର ପଇସା ଖାଲି ବାପା କହିଲେ ତମେ କଣ ଦବ ସରି ଶେଷ ଦେଖାଇଦେଲା ବୋଉ ମରିଗଲା 2009 ମରିଗଲା ପରେ ବାପା ବଞ୍ଚିଥିଲେ ସିନା किंतु बहुत शक्ति दिला बापा से शक्ति बापा चलता मुझे शेष देखा करी बापा जनवरी 29 तारीख रही फेब्रुआरी 4 तारीख पर्यंत 1913 मसीह बापा को गला कथा शुणी थोड़े बेडरूम चेंज out of the para lucrar. Dice que ni बहुत भागर तेल लगे देली कर देली सब कला करे ना कहले मते जोरे खुलेगा प्राय अधघंटे घंटे मुझे चाकरी करते कहले मत भय लगे कहीं बाबा तू मत नहीं मु आगे रही चाहूँ मुझे बाबा ठीक निश्चित नहीं तापर मोर दुकान कोरिया मु निश्चित देखी जाए चेन्नई चेन्नई जल्दी बापा को नहीं जेतबे कोरिया देखी सकाल से जो दिन पाके लास्ट बापा तुम पाके हम आउरी पढ़ी पढ़ी सारी मोर सब कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स टीचर बापा को कहले कथा बुले कहले बापा तुम नंदीकेश्वर नाटकटा मतलब बहुत भल लगे मुझे डांस काम कर कहले हो तू आसबू मुझे से बतेदेवी तू निश्चित कर डांस कामटा निश्चित कर से प्रतिज्ञा करी बापा ये नाटकटा को मुझे डांस फॉर्म रे करी प्रेजेंट करी ये सुबोध बाबू अच्छा थैंक्स टू कोसना मत लास्ट ए वर्ष 2023 रे गुप्तेश्वर फेस्टिवल रे गोटे सोलो परिवेशन करने सुजोग दिया जाता दृढ़ निश्चित होता नंदिका केसरी नाटक को मनोरथ माध्यम जमी प्रकाश करी श्रेष्ठ नुहे आहरी किसी नाटक मो मन अच्छी जोटा कि नृत्य माध्यम लोक पाखे प्रकाश करी आते नंदिका केसरी को परिवेशन करी मुझे जाने से स्टेज को बाहर आगुरी बापा को बापा तुम शेष इच्छा मुझे पूरण करने जाऊँगी बापा शेष इच्छा नंदिका मुझे जाऊँगी ये मोर सुंदर ज्ञापन को मो गुरु को प्रणाम करके स्टेज को बाहर सरला सामना मु शुणी एक्सलेंट केते लोक परिवार जहाँ हो और किसी परिवार अच्छे से जहाँ हो बापा तुम सब किसी आज ये लोक बस मुझे सुजोग पाई सब किसी तुम बापा जो चलीगले बहुत लेखक से लेखा पठे बही से बहुत लोग लिखी राज्यपाल पटनी पटनायक लिखी नवनाट्य आंदोलन वार्ता शरद चंद्र प्रधान लिखी परगत से ही दिशा सीताकांत महापात्र लिखी आपणकर आवर्तन मान अनंत मौसा लिखी संग्राम स्मृति दाशरथी दास लिखी शिल्पगत आत्मीयता हेमंत कुमार दास लिखी स्मृति मनोरंजन प्रयोगवादी नाटक भागीरथी वैष्णव चरण सामल लिखी नूतन क्रांति और स्पर्धार नाट्यकार मनोरंजन दास नीलाद्रि भूषण हरिचंद्र लिखी मनोरंजन नाट्य संग्राम गोविंद श्रद्धांजलि लिखी प्रतिभा लिखी पितृप्रतिमा मनोरंजन बाबा डाकुले झील कहीं ना झुनी आ मो बड़ भूणी ना झुनु नटवर शतपथी लिखी काठभड़ा पानी पी रे जानी पी रमेश चंद्र प्राणी लिखते नाट्यकार मनोरंजन स्मृति गौरमंकर लिखते अभूला से स्मृति विवेक पटनायक लिखते एंड ऑफ द जनरेशन शैलेंद्र नारायण त्रिपाठी लिखते मनोरंजन दास सामुएल बेकेट इंडिया प्रफुल्ल कुमार महांती लिखते विदाय नाट्यकार मनोरंजन दास हरिहर मिश्र लिखते आदित्य नाट्यकार मनोरंजन दास विजय कुमार शतपथी लिखते नवनाटक द्रोणाचार्य झरणा दास लिखी पद्मश्री मनोरंजन दास से स्नेही भद्र कियारी मनीषी हाथ धरी बेकार नाटक को टाणी आनी से मनोरंजन दास बोबू भाई तुलसी ओझा नवनाट्य आंदोलन पुरोधन स्मरण आदरणीय बराड़ लिखते माननीय श्री विजयलक्ष्मी महांती लिखते बोबू भाई स्मृति जगन्नाथ महापात्र लिखते सुजगटी संघमित्र मिश्र लिखते खाली स्वगत अरण्य फसल संपर्क आलोचना लिखी आरंभ कर नाटक आलोचना नूतन पर्याय ज्योत्ना दास लिखी अमर पथे जनसुधा आधुनिक जुगर महानाट्य मनोरंजन को मार्मिक प्रणाम आलोक सुंदर महांती लिखी स्मृति के पद धीरेन्द्रनाथ मल्लिक लिखिले मनोरंजन स्मरण नारायण साहू लिखी किसी समय वीर कुमार मेहर लिखी मनोरंजन प्रमुख कथा बेस मन पड़े विजयनंद सिंह लिखी जुगश्रेष्ठ मनोरंजन अपूर्व रंजन राय लिखी स्नेह प्रेरणार उच्च मनोरंजन सुबोध पटनायक लिखते ही रही रही नहीं अमरेंद्र नारायण षडंगी लिखते मनोरंजन दास एक अभूला स्मृति विष्णुप्रिया अवतार कर्मे जीए जनर प्रसन्न कुमार बराड़ लिखी उजुड़ा फसल शब्द न लिखी प्रशांत महांती मरणजयी मनोरंजन मरणजयी मनोरंजन आपण मानी करी रखिछन्ति आपण अमर करी रखिछन्ति आपनकर साहित्य सृष्ट माने एवं कलाकार माने वीरंजी नारायण सामल लिखिते यशस्वी नाट्य सृष्ट मनोरंजन गोविंद चंद्र चांद लिखिते सारस्वत जीवन संपर्क रे निजे मनोरंजन सुरंजन लेखा लिखिते स्मृति तन्वी केपे आउ अन्य जीव माने भी किछि लिखिते धन्यवाद
Thank you, Dr. Sikadati, for sharing your views in Odia. Those among us who do not know Odia could also gather what you said, because you spoke from heart. It was difficult for you to control your songs. Thanks a lot for being with us. I now invite the chair of the inaugural session, Professor Dr. Kumud Sharma, distinguished Hindi writer and Vice President of Sahitya Akademi. She is Professor, Department of Hindi, University of Delhi, and has 13 published books on various subjects such as media, women discourses, and literature to her credit, besides many published articles in reputed newspapers and magazines. She has been a member of many academic bodies and is a recipient of Sahitya Bhushan Samman, Bharat Hindu Harishchandra Puraskar, Damodar Chaturvedi Smriti Samman, and Sahitya Shri Samman, and many others. Professor Kumud Sharma.
Our expectations are right.
इस सभागार में उपस्थित साहित्य अकादमी के सचिव श्री केशव नवाज राव जी, उड़िया के प्रसिद्ध लेखक और दास जी, सुविख्यात लेखक उड़िया के अनंत महापात्रा जी, लेखक विजय कुमार सरपति जी, सीता दास जी और इस सभागार में उपस्थित सभी मित्रों, आज इस सभागार में उड़िया नाटककार मनोरंजन दास पर जो राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी है, उस पर मैं अपनी उपस्थिति को बहुत संतोषजनक मान रही हूँ। साहित्य अकादमी, जिसे साहित्यकारों का घर कहा जाता है, मेरे लिए तो मंदिर ही नहीं है। साहित्य अकादमी के उपाध्यक्ष के नाते यह मेरे दायित्वबोध का हिस्सा है। 24 भाषाओं के रचनाकारों की रचनाओं को समझने का कर्तव्य बोध भी इसके साथ जुड़ गया है। इसलिए आज इस माइक पर मैं उड़िया नाटककार मनोरंजन दास पर कुछ कहने का साहस अर्जित कर पाई हूँ। उड़िया जब कोई बोलता है तो समझ लेते हैं। भाषा की हूँ तो आप भारतीय भाषाओं को थोड़ा बहुत समझ लेते हैं। दक्षिण भारतीय भाषाओं के साथ थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है, लेकिन उड़िया पढ़ नहीं पाती। जब इस संगोष्ठी की जानकारी मिली तो मुझे लगा कि जो बहुत प्रसिद्ध रचनाकार होता है किसी भी भारतीय भाषा का हो, जो एक महत्वपूर्ण मुकाम पर पहुंच जाता है, तो उसके साहित्य के अनुवाद की जरूरत होती है। तो निश्चित ही इनकी रचनाओं के अनुवाद हो चुके होंगे और मुझे उपलब्ध होंगे। जैसा मैंने बताया भी है क्या है कि अंग्रेजी, बंगला और हिंदी में अनुवादित हुए। मैंने पुस्तकालयों की तरफ दृष्टि दौड़ाई, वहां पहुंची तो वहां मुझे हिंदी में अनुवादित 4 उनके नाटक उपलब्ध हुए। शब्दलिपि, अरण्य फसल, वनहंसी और श्वेत पद्मा और काट का घोड़ा। इसके अलावा आकाशवाणी के आर्काइव में गई तो वहां पर देखा कि आवर्तन, अरण्य फसल उनके नाटकों की श्रृंखला के रूप में वहां प्रसारित हो चुका है। तो इन सब सामग्रियों को मैंने खंगाला और मैंने नाटककार मनोरंजन दास के रचनात्मक फ्लेवर को समझने की कोशिश की, उनके रचनात्मक फ्लेवर को समझा। उसी के आधार पर मैं अपनी बात यहाँ कहने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ। मनोरंजन दास उड़िया नाटक के क्षेत्र में, जैसा कि बात अभी आप लोगों के वक्तव्य से भर करके मिलाई, कि नव्य नाटक के जन्मदाता के रूप में हुए और उड़िया नाटक के विकास क्रम की श्रृंखला में अगर देखा जाए तो नव नाटक काल में उन्होंने आधुनिकता बोध को नाटक के स्तर पर उभारने की कोशिश की। उन्होंने परंपरा की जो दृढ़ प्रमाणित नींव थी, उस पर उन्होंने जो नया युग धर्म था और एक जो बौद्धिक चेतना का आग्रह था, उसको लेकर के नाटक लिखे और कोशिश उनकी ये रही कि ये बौद्धिक चेतना से संपन्न जो नाटक है, इसकी तरफ उनके दर्शक आकर्षित होंगे और ये विचारशील पाठकों को आकर्षित करेगा। यह मैं बता दूं, जितना मैं समझ पाई हूँ कि उनके नाटक बहुत साधारण लोगों के लिए नहीं है। जो विचारशील है पाठक, उनके लिए है, क्योंकि जिस तरह की उनकी भाषा का तेवर है, जिस तरह की भाषा को उन्होंने सृजित किया है, नाटकों के माध्यम से उपलब्ध किया है, वो भाषा बहुत सरल भाषा तो आपको लगती है देखने में, लेकिन उसकी व्यंजनाओं तक पहुंचने के लिए आपको थोड़ा सा व्यायाम करना पड़ता है, मानसिक व्यायाम करना पड़ता है, उसके संकेतों को आपको समझना पड़ता है। और अगर मैं उनको देखूं तो जो आज़ादी से पहले लिखा गया और आज़ादी के बाद, तो उनके नाटकों के 2 स्तर मुझे दिखाई देते हैं। प्रारंभिक जो नाटक है उसमें ऐसा लगा कि वो अपनी जो सामाजिक प्रथाएं हैं, परंपराएं हैं, उस अनुभव से वो टकराने की कोशिश करते हैं, लेकिन परंपरा से बहुत अलग नहीं हो पाते। लेकिन बाद के नाटकों में देखें तो वहां पर बिल्कुल नए अन्वेषण का आग्रह है और एक नई जमीन है, जैसा कहा गया एक्सपेरिमेंट का युग। अगर आप देखें तो वो युग जो है, चाहे वो किसी भी भारतीय भाषाओं का साहित्य हो, वहां पर एक नए युग की शुरुआत तो आज़ादी के बाद होती है, क्योंकि ये वो समय है जब राजनीतिक, आर्थिक, सामाजिक क्षेत्रों में नई अनुभूतियां उभर करके आती हैं। आधुनिक भावबोध की अनुभूतियां जो पहले नहीं थी। जहाँ अकेलापन है, जहाँ संतरास है, जहाँ भय है, जहाँ सुरक्षा है, जहाँ असमंजस है, ये नई अनुभूतियाँ है। एक और परिवर्तन होता है जो मनोरंजन के क्षेत्र का है। काठ का घोड़ा में नाटककार ही लिखते हैं भूमिका में कि ये जो समय है उसमें मनोरंजन के क्षेत्र में जो है नाटक का जो एकाधिकार है वो खत्म हो चुका है और मीडिया के साथ एक तरह की प्रतिद्वंदिता है। तो ये वो समय है कि हमको नाटक के क्षेत्र में अन्वेषण करने की जरूरत है और नाटक का जो पारंपरिक ढांचा है उसे तोड़ना पड़ेगा और नई अनुभूतियों के लिए आपको नए नाटक के विन्यास में आने की जरूरत है और इस जरूरत को महसूस करते हैं और नाटकों को एक नए फलक पर ले आते हैं। कौन सी चीजें उनके लिए महत्वपूर्ण है? उनके लिए महत्वपूर्ण है कि आप नए विन्यास में हैं, नए अन्वेषण की तरफ हैं, नए प्रयोग की तरफ हैं, लेकिन एक सोच बराबर उनके साथ चलती है कि हमें भारत की जो नाट्य परंपरा है उसको नहीं छोड़ना है, भारत की नाट्य परंपरा को लेकर के आगे चलना है और साथ में आपका सोशल एक जो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, जो आपका एक सामाजिक दायित्व है, वो भी उसका भी निर्वहन करना है और उसके साथ आपको अपने युग की जो यंत्रणा है उसको चित्रित करना है और यही सोच लेकर के वो नाटक की तरफ आते हैं और नए नए प्रयोग करते हैं। आगामी की बात हुई, 1950 में आगामी आया था उनका नाटक और वहां से एक नव नाटक की परंपरा की नींव वो रखते हैं और उसके बाद आप देखिए कि 60 तक आते हैं, 60 के बाद जो उनके नाटक आते हैं, 60 का जो समय है वो एक ऐसा समय है सबके लिए कि जहां पर सन 60 तक तो आप ये कोशिश करते हैं कि भाई जो नई चीजें हैं, जो विसंगतियां हैं, जो भय है, असुरक्षा है, जो कुछ ऐसा घटित हो रहा है, जो विसंगतियां हैं तमाम तरह की, आपको लगता है कि हमारे जो मानवीय सरोकार है वो इतने गहरे हैं कि हम धीरे धीरे करके इन स्थितियों से निपट लेंगे। हमारे जो मानवीय सरोकार है उनके चलते हम स्थितियों को से निपट लेंगे और हम बहुत कुछ सहेज लेंगे। लेकिन सन 60 के बाद वो सारी चीजें बिखरने लगती हैं और विसंगतियां इतनी प्रभावी हो जाती हैं और ऐसा लगता है कि अब हम इन विसंगतियों इतनी विकराल हो गई कि विनाश की प्रक्रिया शुरू हो गई। ऐसी उथल पुथल है कि अब आप शायद इन्हें बचा नहीं पाएंगे। हमारे मूल्यों के संरक्षण की चेतना जो है वहां पर प्रबल हो जाती है। यही मनोरंजन दास भी अपने नाटकों में यही महसूस करते हैं। वन हंसी जब आता है उसका जब प्रकाशन होता है और वो सृजनी नाट्य संस्था के द्वारा वो खेला जाता है और जब खेला जाता है, जब मंचन होता है उसको, तो एक जो पाठक होते हैं उनके भीतर, जो दर्शक होते हैं उनके भीतर एक बेचैनी भरता है क्योंकि तमाम तरह की यातनाएं हैं, प्रेम है, विवाह है और इन संस्थाओं को लेकर स्त्री पुरुष जो संबंध है और 25 वर्षों का जो काल है, इसमें बहुत सारा उद्वेलन है पात्रों के भीतर। स्त्री पुरुष संबंध कैसे होने चाहिए, कैसे है, लेकिन होगा क्या, पाप और पुण्य क्या है, बहुत सारे प्रश्न उनके मन में है और उन प्रश्नों को लेकर के जवाब नहीं है आपके पास क्योंकि स्त्री पुरुष संबंध 1+1=2 नहीं होता है। कई स्थितियों में वो आपको नाजायज लग सकते हैं, कुछ स्थिति में आपको ठीक लग सकते हैं, ये स्थितियों के ऊपर निर्भर करता है। बहुत तरह की परिस्थितियां, तो उसको वनहंसी में जैसे जल के ऊपर वनहंसी का प्रतिबिंब पकड़ में नहीं आता ठीक से, लेकिन कहीं कुछ है, उलझन है, असमंजस है, मनोवैज्ञानिक स्तर, मन की परतें हैं, उसको खोलने की कोशिश बहुत मुश्किल होता है। जो दिखता हुआ यथार्थ होता है, वस्तुगत यथार्थ होता है, आपको उसको उकेरना आसान होता है, लेकिन पात्र के भीतर मन में घुस करके आप उसका एक्सरे उतार लाए, वो नाटककार के लिए बहुत मुश्किल काम है और वो मुश्किल काम मनोरंजन दास ने करने की कोशिश की है और इसमें वो सफल भी हुए हैं। इसी तरह से मैं बात करूं कि शब्द लिपि की, तो शब्द लिपि जब किताब जैसे ही मैंने ऐसे देखा उसको, तो मुझे लगा कि शायद इस शीर्षक से कि शायद ऐसा है कि ये उनकी रचना प्रक्रिया पर लिखी हुई कोई किताब है और वो अपनी रचना प्रकृति जो लेखक होता है, बहुत सारी ऑटोबायोग्राफियों की बात अभी हुई, लेकिन हर रचनाकार अपने साक्षात्कार में या बताने की कोशिश करता है अपने लेखन की उसकी रचना प्रक्रिया क्या है, उसकी रचना धर्मिका क्या है। तो मुझे लगा कि शायद शब्द लिपि में वही होगा। लेकिन शब्दलिपि की भूमिका पढ़ने पर और शब्दलिपि के कुछ मैंने पूरा अरण पसेलों को पूरा पढ़ा, लेकिन शब्दलिपि को इस तरह से नहीं पढ़ पाई, तो लेकिन उस भूमिका के कुछ 4-5 पंक्तियों का अंश में लेकर के आई हूँ। उससे अगर आप समझें तो आप मनोरंजन दास को बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझ सकते हैं। शब्दलिपि जहाँ से शुरू होता है वहीं समाप्त होता है, और जहाँ समाप्त होता है वहीं शुरू होता है। यानी आपको ना जीवन की शुरुआत मालूम है ना अंत मालूम है, और अंत कहाँ। जिस प्रकार मनुष्य एक दूसरे से बंधा हुआ है सांसारिक एवं मानसिक रूप से, उसी प्रकार शब्दों का रचयिता और इस नाटक का आवाहक भी अपने बनाए हुए शब्दों के जाल में स्वयं फंसता एवं निकलता है। दूसरे अर्थों में वह भी अपने बनाए हुए शब्दों का भावार्थ अपने द्वारा रचित पात्रों की सहायता से खोजने का प्रयत्न करता, वह मृत्यु से जूझता दिखाई देता है। मनुष्य शब्दों के अर्थ को अनर्थ में या अपनी सहूलियत के लिए चाहे जैसे मोड़ देता है। इसके द्वारा इसके मस्तिष्क में प्रेम, हिंसा, स्वार्थ, गर्व, ईर्ष्या आदि विकार उत्पन्न होते हैं और उसी में फंसता चला जाता है। यहाँ तक कि शब्द रचयिता यानी आवाहक भी उसी जाल में स्वयं को उलझा पाता है। अब आप इसको देखिए, और वनहंसी और अरण्य फसल की तरह चाहिए। तो वनहंसी में जिसकी बात मैं कर रही थी, इस नाटक में अगर आप देखें तो वहां पर वनहंसी का मूल लक्ष्य क्या है। मूल हंसी के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए कथोकथन की परंपरागत पद्धति उसको भी वो तोड़ते हैं, पुराने ढांचे को भी तोड़ते हैं। और नाटक के अंतिम वाक्य जिनको मैं पढ़ रही हूँ उससे पूरा समूचा युगबोध कैसे अंकित हो जाता है। और यही नाटक 2-4 सेंटेंस है। उनकी खूबी है कि उनके सेंटेंस जो बड़े छोटे छोटे संवाद होते हैं, लेकिन छोटे छोटे संवादों में बड़ी गहरी रचना होती है। जाकर उषा को शांति न मिल सकी, लौट कर गीता शांति पा सकेगी नहीं। आदमी की दौड़ सिर्फ अशांति पर आकर समाप्त होती है। यहाँ भी आप शांति नहीं पा सकेंगे, किसी को शांति नहीं, इसी के बीच जीना होगा। अब यहाँ शांति नहीं मिल रही है। अरण पसरी, इसके बहुत सारे अंक मुझे जो है आकाशवाणी पर भी मिले। इस नाटक को अगर आप देखें तो इस नाटक में बुद्धिवाद का आर्तनाद आपको दिखाई देगा। बौद्धिक पर्दे हैं, उनको खोलने की कोशिश है। कुछ शब्द संग्राम, अरण्य है, पहाड़ है, सोना है, हिरण है, बाघ है, सियार है, बकरी, बकरा। और तो अब आप देखिए कि अगर आप इसी तरह से, मैं और कुछ शब्द आपको देख रही हूँ क्योंकि समय कम है, दूसरे नाटक के इनको समेट लूंगी। दूसरे नाटक के मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा किस नाटक से मैंने चुने हैं, एक ही नाटक के संज्ञा निरूपण, दीर्घ दृश्य, असहाय, निरुपाय, विद्रूप, नृशंस, यंत्रणा, अनुताप, अनुतप, क्लांत, सृष्टि, चमत्कार, नैतिकता, पद्धति। इन शब्दों की श्रृंखला को आप समझें तो परिवेश की रचना को भी आप समझ लेंगे और लेखक की मंशा को भी आप समझ लेंगे। यानी लेखक अपने समय के भयावह चित्रों को विस्तृत करता है, अपने समय की जो जटिलताएं हैं उनसे आपका साक्षात्कार कराने की कोशिश करता है। और लेकिन एक चीज यहाँ महत्वपूर्ण है, उनके सारे नाटकों में मुझे जो दिखाई दी, जो मैंने पढ़े, कि जटिल स्थितियों से साक्षात्कार कराते हुए जहाँ नैतिकता शब्द आता है बार बार, वो साक्षात्कार कराता है, लेकिन उसकी कोशिश क्या होती है? उसकी कोशिश होती है मनुष्यत्व की खोज। और इसीलिए उनके नाटकों में आप देखें, वनहंसी में पात्र शांति खोज रहे होते हैं, मानसिक सुकून खोज रहे होते हैं, और अरण्य फसल में जंगल के फैले हुए संतरास में वो क्या खोज रहे होते हैं? वो पहाड़ पर सोना खोज रहे होते हैं। पहाड़ पर सोना खोजने का मतलब है मानवीय मूल्यों की खोज करना। उथल पुथल है मानसिक, बहुत कष्ट है, यंत्रणा है, यातना है, लेकिन उसके बीच भी आस्था का स्वर वो जिंदा रखना चाहता है। लेखक की तलाश जारी है, आस्था की तलाश, मानवीयता की तलाश, मानवीय सरोकार की तलाश। और मुझे लगता है कि ये तलाश बराबर जारी होनी चाहिए, जारी रहनी चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर ये तलाश खत्म हो गई तो शायद मानवता का दम भी घुट जाएगा। हम मानवता को जिंदा रखने की का जो भ्रम है वो पानी नहीं रह सकते हैं। तो इनके नाटकों से और लोग भी शिक्षा लें और हम मानवता को जिंदा रखने के लिए, मानवता को आवाज देने के लिए मुझे लगता है कि आज मनोरंजन दास के नाटक बहुत प्रासंगिक हैं। आपने मेरे इन शब्दों को सुना, मैंने बहुत कम सामग्री मेरे पास थी, इसलिए आधार पर बात रखी। बहुत बहुत
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम आपका। इतने कम समय में मनोरंजन दास जी के नाटकों पर, उनकी विशेषताओं पर आपने बहुत कुछ कह दिया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। The inaugural session ends here. We will have only a 10-minute break and get back for the first session. Thank you all.
Thank you.